As the Yukon landscape turns to frost and the mining season nears its close, many would start winding operations down. But not Tommy Beets, known as the king of the Klondike Beets, is determined to squeeze out every last ounce of gold. While the ground remains workable and the gold prices stay high, with only 180 ounces left to meet his 5,000-ounce season goal, Tommy isn't slowing down. He's doubling down throughout the season. Tony has maintained a focused, almost relentless drive. He has spoken openly about his satisfaction with how things have gone so far, but he's made it clear that going beyond their target would be the cherry on top for him. The formula for success has always been simple: the more effort you put in, the more money you stand to make. Running 2 plants already, his reliable trawl at Paradise Hill and the Saul at Indian River, Tony still saw room for more. With time running out, he set his sights on firing up a 3rd wash plant to tap into every remaining opportunity. That vision brought renewed attention to the Hester Cut, a promising stretch of ground his daughter Monica had been working on earlier in the season. The Hester Cut represented more than just untouched ground, it was land Tony had been eyeing for over 40 years. When Monica first broke ground there, hopes were high, but things quickly soured. The area, saturated with groundwater and plagued by unstable conditions, turned into what Tony would later describe as a soup hole. Heavy equipment sank into the muck, and their attempt at building a 3rd operation in the Hester Cut was soon abandoned. Monica and Tony tried to salvage the plan by draining the site, but even that effort failed. Pumps couldn't keep up with the rising water levels, and the ground remained far too soft to support machinery. Disappointed but undeterred, Monica pivoted. She suggested they run old-timer tailings instead, piles of leftover material from earlier miners that still held recoverable gold. It wasn't virgin ground, but it was solid, proven, and within reach for years. Earlier, they had pulled over 330 ounces from the same tailings in just 5 weeks. And now, with gold prices nearly double what they were back then, the timing seemed perfect. Tony agreed it was a smart move, less risky, and potentially very rewarding, but to make it work, they needed additional wash plant capacity fast. That's when Tony sprang a surprise on his daughter. Calling Monica to the lower yard, Tony revealed the centerpiece of his plan: a brand new state-of-the-art wash plant. It wasn't just another piece of equipment. It was a $500,000 behemoth that could dramatically change their pace. Monica was stunned. The gleaming machine, fresh off delivery, stood ready to help them power through the final stretch of the season. Tony had come across the opportunity unexpectedly and acted quickly, confident it would be a game-changer. The plant was not only beautiful, as he put it, but efficient, capable of handling large boulders and high volumes of paid dirt with precision. It featured a massive hopper that fed material through water jets, which separated gold from rock. Hydraulic steel figures diverted waste, while heavier gold particles were funneled down into soil boxes. Initially, the plan had been to reactivate the old Moose Creek trawl, but with time of the essence, the new Super Sol presented a faster and more effective solution for Tony. It was a no-brainer: drop it, hook it up, and start slewing. Excitement gave way to urgency as the team sprang into action. Getting the plant operational required heavy lifting. Literally, Monica and Glenn teamed up to raise the 17-ton structure using an 18-ton excavator, while cousin Mike arranged the skids to support its base. Once everything was in position, Mike Beets jumped into a dozer to pull the massive wash plant onto its final pad. Tensions ran high during the maneuver, but experience won the day. Tony's voice crackled through the radio, guiding Monica with firm and rapid instructions. Every adjustment, raising, pulling, and stabilizing was executed with precision. The plant was gradually eased into position beside the old-timer tailings, and once the final adjustment was made, Monica gave a nod of approval. It had gone better than expected. The team wasn't done yet. Monica brought in the 700 loader to give the final push, locking the wash plant into place with a smooth finish. The setup was ready. Tony took a moment to observe the scene. clearly satisfied this new addition he believed would be exactly what Monica needed to make the most of the opportunity. Still, a few tasks remained. Before the super slough could go live, they needed to connect the water system and fuse a few pipes. But the box was in place and momentum was on their side as the season ticks down to its final days. Tony Beets isn't just trying to hit a goal, he's aiming to crush it with his new wash plant ready and Monica's strategy to mine the tailings underway. The Beets family is charging into the finish line with renewed energy that's made them legends in the Klondike. What started as a gamble on abandoned material could end up being their biggest payday, yet after a week of around-the-clock digging, hauling, and slewing, the family came together at their familiar Gold Way. Inside spirits were high, and although some joking was exchanged, there was a palpable undercurrent of tension. This cleanup could determine whether Tony's operation reached its long-standing seasonal goal, 5,000 ounces of Klondike gold. Monica, always quick to deliver updates with a hint of competitive energy, shared that they'd had another strong week in the field. Her father, Tony, acknowledged her report with a smirk and a teasing remark about her bankers' hours, poking fun at the idea that she might be taking it easy. Monica fired back, challenging whether he might just be a little jealous of her success. The exchange, lighthearted as it was, gave way to more serious business. The moment of truth. Tony stood over the gold pan with steady hands and a focused gaze. They were starting with the cleanup from the Indian River comeback cut extension, ground that had taken considerable time and energy to open up. With the pan loosened and the scales set, Tony motioned to begin. As the gold poured into the jar, a rich stream of glittering flakes began to accumulate rapidly. Someone noted the jar looked nice and full. Everyone watched in silence as the numbers climbed: 10 ounces, 20, then 30. Momentum picked up. Soon they were over 60, then 90. When it finally settled at 205.80 ounces, a cheer went up from the crew. Tony gave a satisfied nod, commenting that it was a solid haul and a good return from what had proven to be a fruitful little cut. More importantly, that single cleanup pushed them over the threshold they had been chasing all season long. With that jar, the Beets family officially crossed the 5,000-ounce mark. Tony grinned from ear to ear, clearly pleased with the achievement. It was a major win, not just symbolically but financially. At current gold prices, that cleanup alone was worth over $543,000. And now that the season's goal had been achieved, every ounce from this point forward would be pure profit. When someone joked that the rest of the season's gold would just be bonus income, Tony laughed, reminding them that with the way he spends, there might not be much inheritance left to pass on. His trademark wit underscored his genuine pride in the team's accomplishment. But the weigh-in wasn't over yet. Next on the scales was gold from the trommel running at Paradise Hill, Mike Beets' domain. With the family gathered close, the tally began again. The ounces ticked upward, steadily breaking past 60, then soaring beyond 100. Cheers built as the counter reached 160, then 200. The final figure landed at an impressive 264.760. Altogether, that brought their running total for the season to 5,290 ounces, edging closer to their all-time best. With gold prices sky high, the total haul was now worth nearly $14 million. Tony acknowledged Mike's effort with a rare moment of fatherly pride, noting that it was a strong haul for his mini Beets. The crew agreed that, depending on how the final few weeks played out, they might even break their personal best for total O's mind in a single season. It was a remarkable turnaround, considering how the Hester cut debacle had nearly derailed their hopes of running 3 wash plants. But Monica's quick thinking, combined with Tony's bold investment in $500,000 Dollar Wash Plant had brought new life to their operation just when they needed it most. As the gold weighing wrapped up, the family exchanged light-hearted farewells. Monica encouraged the crew to come back with even more gold, while others echoed her sentiment. Tony never want to miss a chance for a dramatic exit. Throughout a line that perfectly captured the moment, with a grin he told the team, "That's all, folks." But his message was clear: they weren't done just yet. With a little time still left on the clock, there was more ground to work, more gold to dig, and possibly even a new record to break. With momentum clearly on their side and a powerful new wash plant in full swing, the Beets crew is now within striking distance of their most successful season ever.